Welcome back. I'm Felix, and I got some Reddit stuff for you. This one, I just saw the tag. Am I that a-hole for letting my boyfriend touch my surrogate bump and was it pissing off my sister? So I'm assuming it's a sister's baby in there that she's carrying. But that sounds weird already, just because why are you mad? It's not your belly. Yes, it's your kid, but your sister's carrying it. All right, this one I guess this is gonna be a weird one. All right, don't forget to like, subscribe, and let's get into this. I can't wait to hear this one.
Letting my boyfriend touch my surrogate bump, upsetting my sister. Okay. Hi Reddit. So last year I, a 29-year-old woman, agreed to be a surrogate for my sister. Let's call her N. And her husband, both 27. Due to an unfortunate high likelihood of infertility diagnosis in my sister, they didn't have the funds to hire an actual surrogate, and I am basically the only person they're actually close with that has a child, a requirement to be a surrogate, meaning I was essentially their only option. I didn't love the idea at first, but after watching them struggle to conceive for the last 2 years, and some light insistence from my sister, I said okay. They did agree to pay me some form of compensation, but from Googling it, it seems like it's maybe 30% of what it would normally cost. Anyway, fast forward to today, and I'm 7 months along, and all has gone realistically pretty well. My sister has definitely been checking in on me all the time, but I can't really blame her for that. But the problem occurred a couple days ago. So a couple months ago, I met a guy at a work event, let's call him C, and we hit it off. He has a couple of kids of his own, so he doesn't mind anything about my situation, and
I just think it's interesting. The names, let's call her N, let's call her C. This is probably the first initial, both of them. But already, I don't know if I could ask my sister to be a surrogate for me. I think I'm one of those people, if it turned out we couldn't have kids, I would either adopt or just not have kids. I know it's different for everyone, but me and my wife actually talked about that before. It's like, I'll probably just go without kids, to be honest. But that's me.
It's been going really well. Now that we've been together for a couple months, I wanted to introduce him to my sister, so I set up a dinner for the three of us. Originally 4, but her husband couldn't make it. My sister picked me up and drove me over since he was going to meet us there, and as soon as I got in the car, I already felt like she was upset, but didn't think anything of it. We sat down at the restaurant and waited until C arrived. He came over and greeted us, giving me a kiss and quickly rubbing my belly. Nothing really out of the ordinary, but I could see my sister's eyes bulge. I was super confused but didn't say anything about it. We went about our night and she played nice-ish, but was pretty quiet, and honestly it was a pretty awkward meal. When we left and I got back in the car, she just unloaded onto me, saying how weird it was that he kept touching my belly. I asked her what the hell she was talking about, and she said that apparently he basically had his hands on it the whole night, and also that it was super weird because it's her baby. I just rolled my eyes and told her regardless of it being her baby, it was my body, which just made her even more mad. I don't know. She hasn't talked to me in the last 2 days over this. I really don't feel like she has any right to police physical intimacy between me and my boyfriend, just because it's her baby I'm carrying. Like, look, I'm pregnant and I have a boyfriend. Obviously he's going to touch my bump. Am I the asshole? Edit, just because I'm seeing this a lot, baby is not biologically mine. It's her and her husband's. I'm a gestational surrogate. Also, maybe I undersold it in my initial description, but he did touch it a lot more than just when he greeted us. He basically had his hand on it the whole time while we weren't eating. I didn't really think anything weird about it, but figured I'd clarify. Now,
So, how many months along was she when she met him? Because there are guys who have pregnant fetishes. So, it could be that. But also, did the sister think she was going to put... Did the biological mom think her sister was just going to put her life on hold? Because that's not how that works. And also, if you want that level of control, you're going to have to pay me. Like if I had the ability to be a surrogate and you're doing that to me, then you're going to have to pay me a lot more money if you want that kind of control. A lot more money. But yeah, it definitely, I understand the anxiety of the sister because she's had so much trouble conceiving. But there is such a thing that's going a little bit overboard. Unless you see your sister snorting lines of drugs and drinking and stuff like that, then yeah, you might want to be concerned. But if she if she's doing it now, she was doing it before, and you still chose to choose her. I'm sorry. I'm tired, and this is just a stupid story. Because it's like, did you just expect her just to sit in the house and not do anything? And I think that's kind of what she thought. She's just going to sit there, be an incubator, and never move.
This is so messy. Mm-hmm. This is so net. I do just first off the bat, I think if your sister is going, because I've heard this happen before, just having a sister be a surrogate. I think you have to really go over like some ground rules before.
That's a big
because the part of like watching their every move, like you got to go over some ground rules. Yeah. Other than that, this story's messy.
Oh yeah, super messy.
So many different directions.
What do you think?
I think that, I was sort of on board with like, yeah, this is messy, could go either way, but like something that's sort of like ding, 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 for me is, okay, she met this guy while she was pregnant, and he keeps rubbing her tummy. Now, I was going to make the joke of like, oh, if she doesn't, if she's mad, even doesn't talk to you, you're going to see her within 2 months for sure. But also like, oh, if you hate touching the belly, like, they probably still have sex right now. I don't necessarily have to assume, but like it's likely. So if he's met her when she was pregnant and they're having sex and he's rubbing some tummies a lot, that like, it's worth looking at.
That's a possibility. That's a possibility. That's the top.
Wait, what are you saying?
That's the top comment.
Sorta into like.
That's the top comment.
Oh, he's into pregnant women.
So,
that's what I said. There are people who have that fetish. There's a fetish for everything, unfortunately. Some good, some really bad. And this is one of those fetishes that there are guys who like pregnant women. I don't know why, but yeah, they like pregnant women.
the top comment here is not the asshole, but I'd keep an eye on the boyfriend. I'm pregnant with my second, and my husband only touches the bump when I ask him if he wants to feel a kick. Your very new boyfriend having his hands on the bump all the time is strange to me, and I'd be worried about a kink. But your sister has no business policing how you live your life as long as you're medically healthy, and needs to take a step back and remember what an incredible favor you are doing for her and her husband.
Yeah, and
I like that comment.
I see that. That's kind of...
I like that comment too, because she's saying what I was pretty much trying to say, in that it's kind of weird, but at the same time, it may not be a kink, but there are people who have that kink. But as for the sister, she is overreaching. She needs to step back.
The boyfriend, when she clarified, I was like, ooh.
Yeah.
But the sister...
No, it's
a lot.
That's a lot, and it is her body. It's like, your surrogacy is it's a big deal. I don't, the sister's being an asshole. I also understand why, like, that's an emotional, crazy place she's in.
But it's also like...
But she also needs to check herself and be like, oh, but that's your body. And you're carrying my baby, but that's your body, and your boyfriend's allowed to, like, when you're in a relationship, you're allowed to do what you want there. Like,
but I think we sort of have a diverging path here now, though, because, like, I agree that in any other case, the sister telling her about her body, like, not great unless, they laid it out in the ground rules beforehand and that was a breach of that. And I will also say, to clarify, it's not that a pregnant woman cannot be attractive. It's that this guy is really sort of going for the stomach. Yeah. So if the sister is picking up on that and is watching this new boyfriend rub all over the stomach constantly and then gets in your mind like, oh, this might be a kink for him, that's when I would be like, what the f***? And I feel like maybe I would be angry too,
Totally.
But that's then maybe something you'd want to discuss with your sister, as opposed to you can't let someone
But
touch
is she
the belly.
protecting her sister, or is she mad about the baby inside of her?
I'm sort of like, I can't possibly, I'll do my best to like put myself in the situation.
You can't really separate the two. Because like I was saying, the one sister has been going through a lot trying to conceive, can't conceive. So her sister's carrying the baby. So there could be a lot. There could be the aspect that she did pick up on the guy and that she saw it as a kink. And on top of that, she saw it as a kink and she's like, that's my baby in there. I got to protect my baby. So there's all that. So, but in the end, the sister sounds like she didn't handle it well. She just got in the car and went, what are you doing? Let him touch you. Instead of, hey, I noticed he was touching your belly a lot. are we sure he's the one? Because there are guys that have that kink. I think maybe. And then again, it's possible the sister did do it that way. Because you got to keep in mind, this is Reddit. We may not have the whole story. What if because she's saying unloaded on her, what if the sister really did just go, hey, he was touching your belly a lot? But she did say the sister seemed off when they first got there. So, and Reddit stories are famous for not telling us everything. And then I love the ones where the person they're talking about finds the Reddit story and says, hey, here's the rest of the story. Here's what really happened. But again, based on what we have here, it just sounds like the sister is overreacting and being a little overprotective. Especially in her mind if she saw him touching her belly a lot. So, and what constitutes a lot? That's another thing. Like a lot, like he's there every 2 seconds, or let's say they were there for an hour, he touched it like 4 times in an hour. To me, I don't think that would be a lot. Now, if it was every 5 minutes he's touching it, okay. But if he's like, rubbed the belly when he got there, doing stuff, blah, 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 and she goes to do something, he rubs the belly, blah, 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 and, it's like a half hour later, he touches the belly, blah, 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 blah. 20 minutes later, he might, or at the end, touch the belly maybe 2 times. That's what I mean by like 3 or 4 times throughout an hour. I don't think that's a lot, especially if they're being intimate. Let's say she wasn't pregnant and he just like touching her. He could be an affectionate guy too. I hate to call him a creep and say that's his fetish, but like I said, there are people who have that fetish, and maybe her belly was in the way and he couldn't reach her leg, like rub her leg. Some guys like to touch the leg. So he just rubs the belly instead. But yeah, the sister is definitely overreaching. And let's say, hypothetically, beyond a shadow of doubt, the sister did overreact when they got in the car. Like, what the hell? But yeah, I think they need to sit down and talk. It's what really needs to happen. And explain to her sister, I'm not just going to sit in my house. And let's say they bring up him having a kink, and where she goes, yeah, he does have a kink for pregnant women. And I don't care because I need it. You never know. She could just be hard up and wants it, and he was giving it, and they hit it off a little more than they thought, and they're going from there.
Gone through this, but like, for me, it'd be more a matter of like, oh, my baby in your body, yes, but my baby is now somehow party to this creepy man who has a kink about it. That would feel uncomfortable to me.
I knew that's where he was going. That's why I paused it and said what I wanted to say first.
Even if I can't fully define exactly what it is.
But it is her.
It is her body.
I agree with you. That's why it's messy. Because it is her body, it is her decision, but it is their baby. And it's also like they should have went over some ground rules before.
Yeah, I'm not saying she's right. I'm saying like, I
don't even know.
I get why she'd be like,
I don't know I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, this is a situation I'm super foreign to. It'd be interesting to have someone here who's gone through surrogacy to talk about that. But but it's a lot. It doesn't sound like she doesn't quote anything that what the sister said was. She said he basically had his hands on it the whole night, and it was super weird because it's her baby.
The whole night they're eating food. Like what is?
But I do think that comment is very valid, and I understand like if she were to be like, hey, I think this is a kink for him, and that feels weird for me. And and I would feel weird too.
That's why I want to know, was the sister upset because she was trying to protect her sister in that situation? Or
it doesn't seem like it.
Control over the baby.
But it also seems like maybe she doesn't even know why she's upset. Or she just is upset by what she's seeing.
She might just be upset by the whole thing. Maybe it's like 7 months in and she's probably like, what did I do?
The verdict was not the asshole, which I think is completely fair.
I agree.
I agree.
Because we're going on this possibility that what this guy.
She's having a baby for her sister.
It's another one where it's like, if I was there and you're at dinner with these people and you see it, it's like, this could be very different than what we're doing. It's like this guy could really be like weird, and it's like
spaghetti on the tummy.
It's also a thing. Yeah, it's also a thing where it's not like a boyfriend that they've known for a long time, like that's kind of part of the family. It's like it's a new boyfriend, so he's a little bit of a stranger. So
I like how Shane tried to keep it going, trying to ignore them.
So like, oh, this stranger has his hands, and it's like,
I think at the very least, not the asshole.
He's like,
you're saying.
tequila shots.
Yeah. Woo. No, I agree, not the asshole. But there's an update.
Oh.
She had the baby, and it's his.
Oh, no.
I'm just kidding.
And the baby ordered tequila shots. You can't drive?
Baby's like, huh?
It's been over a month since my original post and was surprised by how much interest the post got, so I figured I owe you guys an update post. Sister update. On the sister front, all is well. We talked it over very shortly after my post. Some complicated emotions we had to work through, but we're in a good place now. It is too long to get
That's what I said, they need to talk. So I'm glad they talked.
into here, but I can tell you on this front, it was a happy ending, and she is very excited to meet her baby next month.
I'm sick of eating the same 4 meals. Factor showed me how delicious and easy dinner can be. I've been making dinner.
Boyfriend update. This one went a little different. Yeah, all right.
How different is it?
Yeah.
There were a lot of people in the comments suggesting he had a pregnancy fetish, which previously to my post I didn't even know existed. We've got a Ken Bone in here, guys.
Oh, boy.
I pondered on it, but wasn't really sold on the idea, and coincidentally, he actually went on a work trip for about 3 weeks shortly after, so we didn't really talk until he came back to town, which was about a week and a half ago now. Honestly, when he came back, I'd almost forgotten about that as a possibility, so when I went to see him for the first time in nearly a month at his apartment, and he instantly lifted up my shirt and told me how much bigger I'd gotten, I didn't really think anything of it. He was right. I did actually grow a lot, and it seemed like a normal enough reaction, but looking back on it now, it wasn't even like he hugged me or greeted me or gave me a kiss. It was just straight away right to my bump.
Oh, boy. Oh.
We ended up getting dinner with one of my friends later that same night. Again, me still in some form of either denial or just inattention, I guess just like the last time. I didn't really notice his behavior being weird, but when he went home and I went with her to her house, she had some questions similar to my sister. Is that not exhausting for you? She asked me, which I was just confused by. All the belly touching and rubbing and the comments and the jokes and stuff.
Oh my
she followed
God.
up.
He does have a fetish. Oh, I was so hoping he didn't have a fetish. Because that's why I was like, how pregnant was she when she met him? He had a fetish.
Doesn't seem too irregular to me. People make jokes and comments to me all the time. Even you do. Sure, I'll make some every now and then, but in a 1-hour dinner, he made so many. Like he described you as his overinflated girlfriend. Something about being ready to pop, something else about a balloon, and I know there were others I'm forgetting.
No.
Hearing it now from my sister, my friend, and from Reddit, it finally kind of clicked for me that maybe, in fact, everyone else was right. I had her drop me at his place, and I confronted him about it. Not in an aggressive way or anything, but just asked him if it was true. To my surprise, he looked at me in surprise and just said, yeah, I thought you knew. Sorry, I thought it was kind of obvious.
Ooh.
We had a long talk about it. I don't really think a fetish is an inherently bad thing, and people like to make them more taboo than they need to be. While his behavior was obviously something strange, it was never violent or honestly, and it never even upset me. I told him I would think about whether I wanted to continue seeing him.
You got a month?
Yeah,
That's it.
She's not going to be pregnant forever.
Yeah.
I told him I would think about whether I wanted to continue seeing him, which he was okay with and gave me space. I haven't really reached out to him yet, but I am thinking about it, as I did enjoy the time we spent together, even regardless of his inclinations. Anyway, those are the updates. Hope you enjoyed the happy and sort of happy ending for both. So, no. I think that does put a lot of context, because if he was...
Okay, so this is what I get. Sister did overreach, but she picked up on him, and she didn't know how to express it, and she just blew up. I'm happy they did talk it out when they're still sisters and still things are going good. And I'm glad that another person pointed out, yo, he made a lot of comments and has been touching you a lot. It's like, and again, not all kinks are bad, but on his part, he should have made sure she understood he had a pregnancy kink. Yeah, you gotta make sure people are on the same page with your kink, because if you don't, you'll wind up in situations like this.
She seems to just have been oblivious, right? That like he's calling her his overinflated girlfriend, all this stuff. I now understand the sister being like, hey, that's a lot of that's a little out of pocket. Like,
I'm really glad that the sisters,
they're good.
I'm really glad about, because that's the
good.
most important thing.
Agreed.
But what is he going to do when she has the baby and she's not pregnant anymore?
He's going to be like, I stole this basketball. Quick, they're coming. Will you hide it from me? Like,
God.
And I also,
You're going to buy her a pregnancy suit.
look, it's funny that she's like, oh, do you have this fetish? He's like, yeah, absolutely. Now, my only thought, because yes, there's nothing wrong with fetishes or kinks amongst consensual adults. However, he knew he was going to dinner with like the person who's the surrogate, like the receiving the surrogacy. I'm assuming.
I'm assuming.
but even like
must have
mixed
known.
company,
just
of,
like-
like it's someone else's.
It's just like, hey, in that situation, man, like maybe just
He's loud and proud with his kinks.
not here.
But here's the thing with kinks,
Yeah.
though. Like every
Yeah,
I
tell
don't like
us.
it. So here's the thing. I don't like it when people are involved in them before they realize it. Like it's the same thing where like I'm not going to kink shame, but when you see those like posts where it's like, oh, someone had like a leash on the subway, like it's not a matter of like someone doing it. It's like, okay, you're involving people. It's like, will you hold the leash? Like I've heard about that happening at cons. I think you even read that on a Reddit story once. So that really bugs me.
Yeah.
And the fact that he was like, oh, I thought you knew. It was kind of obvious. That's possible. That's what he meant. It's also, I think, a manipulation tactic to be like, oh, you're caught. Yeah, I thought we were all on the same page. Oh, aren't you chill about it?
It's clear
I thought
that
we were in
she
an open
didn't-
relationship.
yeah, it's clear that she didn't know.
Wasn't communicated directly, and so I think that's weird.
Yeah.
And then if the sister's at dinner, like, no matter who that is, whether it would have been the person who's having the baby biologically or not, it's someone else there, and you're having a conversation about, like, yeah, my basketball girl there. Like, it's...
She's about to
It
pop.
made the friend uncomfortable too. The friend was
Yeah.
like that was a lot.
And
Like,
she didn't write that he was bricked up the whole time.
But I get it. I get it.
probably
That's there's a lot to unpack in that story. I'm very curious in the comments down below, like people's thoughts on it, because
Yeah.
that's one that I got to process. Like I'm gonna be thinking about that one for the next week of just.
I like the fact we all caught that he had a kink. So, yeah, like everyone was clocking that. We all clocked that he had a kink. I tried not to kink shaming, but I'm also with, oh my God, I forgot his name. The other guy there. Oh my God, I forgot his name. But I'm with him as well as that he did not tell her up front. That's what I was saying earlier. She didn't know. She had no reason to think. She's probably used to people touching her belly. She already has a kid. And she knows people like to touch pregnant bellies, so she probably didn't think about it. But when the friend brought it up, it was like, oh, the comments said this, and my sister said this. Oh, maybe he does. And she, and like I said, not all kinks are bad, but you got to make sure that person's into the same kink you're in. And this guy just nonchalantly was like, oh, we're both into the same kink. He's like, no, we're not. So, yeah. It was some kind of manipulation the way he presented it. As like, I thought you knew. No, she didn't. You knew she didn't know.
Just all the like levels to it. And
Yeah, I definitely don't think she's the asshole.
No.
But I definitely think
Naive.
she's like in a new world. She's like, I'm having a baby for my sister, pregnancy kink, like, whoa.
It's a lot of things thrown at her.
Yeah.
Damn, those are some crazy ones.
Those are some like weird.
Those are some mind-boggling ones. Yeah, and it's. I should clarify for people. We're reading these at 9:30 in the morning. We're so it's like first thing of the day.
I think I would end it there, but I'm gonna have to go back and look at the other stories. Let me see the names of the other ones. My wife is mad at me for talking to a girl in a bikini. Maybe I'll go back and watch that one. I stole my cat. That might be interesting. I threw out my girlfriend's dolls. I think I've heard this one before. If this is the one I'm thinking of. They were creepy dolls and he threw them out. It turns out they were rare dolls. Very, very, very rare dolls. And one, a lot of them were given to her by like her grandmother. And that's why she was collecting. If this is the same story. Even if it's not, you don't have the right to throw out other people's stuff like that. It's messed up. Cucumbers. I eat too many cucumbers. What's too many? Is that your only source of food? So maybe I'll come back and maybe pick another one out of this. But yeah, that was interesting. The fact we all picked up on that was interesting. The fact she had to clarify, oh, he did touch it a lot. Kink. He had a kink. It was like, we all, even they were like, I don't want to, say he has a kink, but it sounded like he has a kink. And he did. All right, everyone. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and everyone take care. Later.